gave up a TV job to start a podcast in your basement. If that doesn't scream midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
It was Championship Sunday here in Indianapolis. What's the mindset then coming in as a defending champion?
I want to win. No, I want to win.
The young lady over my shoulder, Caitlin Clark.
Not the best looking guy. And I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, Matt Randazzo was really good looking.
What has this last month, 2 months, 3 months been like for you? It's an important fan base for the Fighting Illini, isn't it?
It is.
He turned 69 years young last week. He looked good, Coach.
Oh, try it. Thank you.
Welcome to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. TGIF. Boy, what a long work week it was. No, I joke because our first show of the week was yesterday and our last show of the week is today. So it's not bad to have a 2-day work week, but we have a jam-packed Friday to get to today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you're watching us live on YouTube, thank you. We appreciate that. If you're watching us later on YouTube and it's not live, we appreciate that as well. Make sure you've subscribed to the show. We appreciate that. That helps us out a ton. Like, comment, all of those things go a long way in helping us as well. We also live on X. X has been very, very good to us, so we appreciate X and everybody who watches us on that platform. And then the show is up each and every day on the podcasting platforms as well. So whether you get your stuff at Spotify, Apple, Podbean, you name it, wherever you get your podcasts, you should be able to check out Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. So please do that as well. That helps us out a ton as well. So a fun Friday to get to, a jam-packed Friday to get to. We're officially in August. That's an exciting thing because there will be football this month. And that's a good thing on the high school level, on the college level. Pro football as well opened up yesterday. We'll talk about that in a second with them preseason throughout the month. The regular season, of course, starts in September, but football season's finally here. So that's super exciting. Less than a month away from the start of Iowa football season. So coming up in just a matter of moments, we'll talk to our good friend Pat Anger, kind of get caught up on some Iowa Hawkeye stuff. And then, as you guys know by now, in the 7+ months I've done this, Pat and I talk about whatever. So usually on Mondays, Pat's here. We're going to have him here on a Friday, and then we're going to have him next Friday as well. Next Friday's show is going to be awesome. It's going to be up live from Iowa Football Media Day. We'll talk about that in just a little bit as well. But Pat Anger coming up in a matter of moments. Also, there's a new boys basketball coach out at Geneseo High School, kind of late in the game. An opening came up towards the end of June, beginning of July. TJ Casey is their new head coach, 26 years old, a really awesome young man. Talked to him earlier today. We'll have that for you coming up later in hour number 1 as well. I came away extremely impressed with TJ Lacey and the rebuilding project that he has out at Geneseo. So we'll get you caught up and introduce you to him. Coming up in hour number 1 of the show at around 11, we'll have owner of the Quad City Steamwheelers. Quad City Steamwheelers. I'm all over the place today. Steamwheelers owner, Doug Bland, will be on the show. We will be talking all about a huge home playoff game coming up for the Wheelers this Saturday against Jacksonville, 3:05 at Vibrant Arena. Get out, support the team. The first home playoff game since 2007, which is wild to me. 18 years. It's a great organization, but just the way things have fallen, and then obviously going away and coming back and COVID and everything else, home playoff football in the Quad Cities. We'll talk with Doug Bland in a matter of moments. And as we mentioned, high school football season begins this month. It's August. Actually, 4 weeks from today is the first Friday night of high school football. Our good friend, Greg Armstrong from View from the West, will join us in hour number 2 of the show as well. If you missed yesterday's show, a couple players from the Bettendorf baseball team that just finished second in the state, Wrigley Mathis and Max Davison joined us. Also, Mike Morrissey from Moline joined us because if you've been by Browning Field lately, it looks good. New field turf in, bathrooms are going up, so no more porta potties, new concessions, those kind of things. So exciting times for Moline. Mike Morrissey joined us yesterday. You can check that out on the YouTube channel, all those kind of things. Check out yesterday's show as well. Speaking of high school coaches and high school football, starting Monday, we'll start our OTA football previews. We'll have 2 different coaches a day until football season, one from Iowa, one from Illinois, joining us on the show, talking about their team, their conference, what we can expect from that as well. So excited about that. The way I did math in my head, we're about 19 shows away, maybe 20 shows away from the first Friday night of high school football. One of those Fridays will be in Iowa City, so we won't do much high school football on that show, but you can get to 30, 40 coaches and kind of preview this area with 15 minutes of the show. So excited about that. We'll kind of get you a schedule on who's coming up on social media throughout the weekend, and then, of course, throughout the weeks right here on Off the Air. Also, we just kind of mentioned it a little bit, but coming up on 1 week from today, August 8th, Off the Air, going on the road to Iowa City. We will do this show from Iowa Football Media Day. We will be on the practice field behind the football facility. Pat Anger will join us. Hoping to see if Gary Dolphin can swing by and chat for a little bit. Players, coaches, those kind of things. It'll be a work in progress, as media days always are. But I'm really excited about that. Very grateful to the University of Iowa for letting me come do that. So Off the Air with Matt Randazzo at Iowa Football Media Day, 1 week from today, August 8th. One day before my birthday. Kind of fun as well. So make sure you mark that on your calendar and get ready for that as well. A couple sports notes before we get going into the day's show and chat with Pat Anger. The MLB trade deadline has come and gone. The Cubs were active. They made 4 trades or acquired 4 new players. 3 relief pitchers. Also, probably the best move they made. They picked up Willie Castro from the Twins. A nice move there, but they didn't address third base. They didn't get a headline starting pitcher, which is really frustrating, I think. But when you look at it, some of those big-time starting pitchers didn't go anywhere. Like, I'd be more frustrated if the Cubs got outbid or they watched Milwaukee get Gore or somebody else get this pitcher or that pitcher, Ryan, whatever. Nobody really went anywhere when it came to the big-time starting pitchers. There were a few, but none of the ones that were kind of tied to the Cubs went anywhere. So maybe it was the asking prices were ridiculously high, all of those kind of things. But what you see is what you get for the Cubs. Is it enough to get to the postseason? Of course. Is it enough to win a division? Maybe. Milwaukee's playing really well. Is it enough to win a World Series? You guys can figure that out. I don't see it right now. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'm a Cub fan. Anything can happen in October, but first things first, they got to focus on the division and what should be a great race between the Milwaukee Brewers. So also the NFL started last night. My beloved Detroit Lions on the field for the Hall of Fame game. They played the Chargers. They lost 27-7. Nobody played. I don't care. Like, I just don't, like, nobody played. Nobody played. So yes, the second string and third string quarterbacks for the Detroit Lions look good? Absolutely not. If Jared Goff gets hurt, you're screwed anyways. So I never understood the worry of a backup quarterback. In most cases, if you lose your starting quarterback, your season's done anyways. I mean, that's weird for Bears fans to figure out because usually your starting quarterback sucks. So it really doesn't matter if your starter's healthy or not. But in most cases, if you're a good football team and you lose your starting quarterback, you're probably in trouble anyways. So that's my little take on preseason football. I don't think the Lions are going to play anybody important all preseason. Most teams don't. I don't blame them. Makes for sloppy week ones, maybe. Yeah, it's what it is. So don't get too caught up with preseason football. But football will be here soon, which is cool. Last but not least in my little opening thing is congratulations to Chris Dewar. Chris Dewar is a longtime sports director at KHQA down in Quincy. An amazing dude, one of the hardest workers you'll ever meet. 30 years as a sports director, doing amazing things in that market, in that area. We worked closely together, sharing Quincy and Western Big Six highlights back and forth. Got to know him pretty well over the last several years. Consider him a good friend. Chris Dewar is no longer the sports director at KHQA, stepping down and joining forces with Muddy River Sports down in Quincy. and Matt Shuckman and those guys. And it's unconventional media. It's non-traditional media, but it's where things are going. And he's going to do an amazing, amazing job kind of evolving and doing different things. And I'm super excited for him. I've talked to him a lot during my transition into doing this show and the opportunities that are out there. When you do something as long as you've done, for as long as Chris Dewar has done them, the opportunities are out there for him to dictate whatever he wants to do and how he wants to do it. That's the important thing. When you've done something like Chris Dewar for 30 plus years, you deserve to keep that standard as high as you want it. And in today's day, with corporations and big time bosses and all that kind of stuff, you can't do that sometimes. So now Chris can join Shuck and everybody else and create their own media the way they want to do it, without restrictions, without somebody telling them they can and can't do stuff. So super excited for Chris Dewar. Very happy for him. Extremely happy for him. We're going to try to catch up with him next week. See if he'll hop on off the air with Matt Randazzo and chat a little bit more. But anybody who knows Chris Dewar in the Quad City market, down from the Quincy market, everyone who knows him knows what type of a guy he is and a human being he is. So very, very happy for him, to say the least. So with that being said, let's rock and roll and get back to a familiar face of our own. And joining me now, making his long-awaited and anticipated return to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo, with America over his shoulder, Pat Anger. How are you, my friend? Are you lifting? Man. What are we doing? What's going on?
No, this is the only quiet place in my house right now at 9:40 at night. So I was going to go out back, but I didn't want it to be too dark. So I went out in the weight room.
We're pretending this is live.
Oh, yeah. Kids are in school. Are they kids in school yet?
Your kids aren't in school yet, are they?
I don't know. I don't know.
You're such a good dad. How you been? So it's been a minute since you've been on the show, which I've been busy, you've been busy, all that kind of stuff. Your kids have won every baseball championship imaginable, right?
Yeah, they win state all the time. They give away 15 state titles for each different age bracket. It's insane. And Emmett, well, he won the silver bracket, AAA silver bracket. So It's really not really there's only the majors is the only champion. Right?
No, here's the thing. And I want to bring this up because it's a great, I was going to do it later, but we had Wrigley Mathis on the show yesterday. And Max Davison, two seniors from Bettendorf, state runners up for baseball. It's a baseball school now, Pat, not a football school like you were there. It's a baseball school. And Wrigley, and you had you pointed this out on social media, but we talked to both of them, and they both played AA baseball growing up. And now they just played for a state championship, and I loved every part of it. I love that everybody's journeys are different. So no, it doesn't matter who's majors or AAA. Max said, he goes, I played for the same coach for 6 years, and he had a huge impact on my life. What a crazy concept, huh, Pat?
Yeah. Wrigley was AA until 13 or 14, I think.
Yeah.
And he was wasn't he Player of the Year?
Yes.
In the conference?
Yeah.
And it's funny because you'll talk to parents and you see it. Well, yeah, I just want my kid to get ready for high school, so we're going to switch teams. We're going to go to a majors team. We're going to do this, and we're going to go play for this team. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Play, get better, prepare, develop. That's what matters. But everybody, it's just. I was so happy for them, and that's when I was sitting there. I was like, I wonder what he played. 'Cause I know he played. Obviously, Southeast. My kids are Southeast. We've been a big part of Southeast for a long time. And I know he played Southeast. And I was like, I wonder if he played Rage. And I looked up. I was like, I wonder what division they were. I'm like, this is perfect. This is amazing. This is everything that I've been saying for so long, how it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah. No, you're vindicated. I think it's weird that you're looking up young boys' history on when that's a little different. I don't know what database you have, but I think it's a little weird. But
you get on U-Trip. The U-Trip's got it covered. I know Illinois U-Trip's a little bit worse than the Iowa.
It's cool, and you see so many, and one of them, I don't know if it was Wrigley or Max. It might have been off the air, but they mentioned that you just don't want to get burned out. And so often kids are like, my mom's making me do this, or my dad's making me go here, or this is just let them have fun. And if they want to play with their friends and have fun, let them do that. Because if you force it, then they don't want to play, and then they're burned out by the time they get to high school. So I thought it was really cool. You got to be proud of your Bulldogs last week. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we were up in Des Moines for the Little League State, and we all got it. They got a TV there, and we all gathered around both 9U and 11U teams and watched them play, and it was super cool. And what's just it's cool because I didn't have that growing up with Bettner baseball, but I had that growing up with Bettner football. Is that you'd watch them succeed, you'd watch them have success, and then that like realizes your dreams. And so you got all these young baseball players that some of them are probably going to go to Bettner, some will go other ways, but it's a way that they're like, hey, I can do this. Like it's a dream for me. And it was super cool. And it was very impactful on those kids and those families, and proud of those guys. Proud of them. Pretty cool.
Blake Hanna's a good guy. He's the head coach. Good human being. I really like what he does and everything. And it's the thing. It's crazy. 23 years. I don't want to talk Bettendorf baseball the entire time, but 23 years is a long time for a program that's been successful. Like, it's not like it's never won any games or it's bad every year. It's just, it was longer than I thought it would have been with the amount of talent and success and everything. So it was great to see them get back and all that. If you missed yesterday's interview, Wrigley Mathis and Max Davison was both on the show. So go check that out.
There's never been a good culture for Bettendorf baseball. And Hannah's come in and he's developed a good culture, which is huge.
Yeah.
And when I was there, the baseball players were all dorks, and didn't work hard and weren't strong, didn't get in the weight room, and they sucked. So they lost all the games.
I hope that at least one, if not two or three of those guys hear this and find you.
I'll tell you, Kyle Merton came out. He was a baseball player. Came out his senior. I think he played early. I think he didn't play his junior year. Came out his senior year for football, and he's a baseball guy. He was awesome. He was so good. He was one of our best defenders, one of our best players on the team. Great guy.
So the only good baseball guys were the guys that eventually played football.
Correct. He's the only one. Yeah.
Just double checking.
Yep.
Did you guys get to travel all this week, this summer, besides like baseball? Did you guys go on vacations? Do you do family vacations?
Trying to remember. I don't think so. No. My family's going on a vacation without me next week, but
no way. Why?
I can't miss all this work. I'm not self-employed like you. I just can't. I have to work. I just spent a week in Des Moines, for baseball. Now I can't just go another week.
You're going to be without You're going to be without your family for a full week.
Yeah, I'm going to watch.
Look how happy you are. Look how happy you look. Look at that smile.
I'm going to miss him so much.
Yeah, you aren't. Where are they going?
I don't know. I don't know exactly.
They're
going on.
Yeah, they are. Well, we're gonna have to follow up on that just to make sure they come back. I'm a little worried. I feel like I'm asking too many questions right now, and I'm going to be accomplice for something, so I'm going to be quiet. We went to like Maine, we went to Boston, we went to Cape Cod, and we went to New York in 9 days. And man, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. My wife is a rock star, and she plans everything, and she's the best. But like we put everything in we like just cram everything in. It's impossible to do what we did, but it was a ton of fun. Do you like the East Coast? Are you an East Coast guy?
Not really. Not really. I don't know. I had a buddy that was he was stationed out east in Long Island, and that was really the last time I went out there. And we had a good time. We hit up the the VFWs, had a good time out there, but then went down to New York, and it wasn't. I don't know. I'm not a big out east guy, especially the big. I'm just not a big city guy in general. Chicago just freaks me out, and New York. And I know you were there. It's just there's too many people. I like to breathe.
It's a trip, man. It's like there's so many people, and like you talked about Chicago, I was so blown away with it. I had my kids look up on their phones. I'm like, what's New York? What's Chicago?
Just having fun.
Is that
wow,
fun?
That's insane.
No, it's nuts. There's just so many people, and you can't. It's wild. I went to a Broadway play.
Yeah, dude.
And dude, I loved it. Like it was really good.
Heck yes.
Like, and
Yeah,
we were texting. You like Broadway plays too.
I love it. When I had to go out there, because I had to get some injections in my knee to try to keep me playing. Didn't
How'd that work out?
But I think I was like, yeah, it cost me like $5,000 and my knee still hurt. But
good deal.
I was out there by myself for like 5 days, and I was like, I don't know, I should go see something. And Rocky was playing on Broadway, and so I went there and I watched Rocky by myself, and I absolutely loved it. And went down there every night. I was down there and watched a Broadway play, and it was the greatest. It was so awesome. Honestly, like, it sounds terrible to say this, but it's like when it's almost like so good you get emotional when it's done. Did you get that feeling, or am I just?
No, I didn't get emotional. That's weird. But no, I laughed. I was entertained. Like it was Aladdin. It was awesome. And like, then we're walking, like we're leaving New York or whatever. And somebody said, I can't do any of those things. And he did them all in the span of 2.5 hours consistently, nonstop or constantly.
And
that's
they
what
do it multiple times. They do it multiple times a day, multiple times a week.
Yep.
And they still do it like it's the first time they've ever done it. And it's just, gosh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
No, it was wild. Do you have any good New York stories besides Broadway and going there? That you can tell without incriminating yourself?
Yeah, nothing shareable. We had I don't know. I mean, this probably doesn't seem funny, but it was funny at the time. One of my buddies really we were walking back to where we were staying. One time me and my buddies were there, and everybody talks about the New York pizza, and then one of the cousins or whatever brought pizza out, and then my buddy kicked it out of his hands, and then he went and got another pizza and got kicked out of his hands, and then everybody started wrestling in the middle of the street. It's just a weird deal. Yeah, it probably doesn't seem funny now that I say it, but
no. Yeah, that's one of those that you're gonna call me and say, "Hey, can you edit that story out?" And I'm like, I can't. Like, you can't be funny every so often. A story doesn't hit, and that might be one of them.
Another one too. We went to one, like, it was like analog, but it was in New York, and my buddy bet us that like $1,000 that he could beat the record for Miss Pac-Man. Our buddy's kind of an idiot, so we like, no way in hell. And he walks into this New York analog type place and broke the record for Miss Pac-Man.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's really impressive. So when you're going to New York, are you just like going with buddies, or this is like football stuff? Is this like?
No, so that part in New York, that was we went out and actually did the Michael Murphy run. Michael Murphy, Navy SEAL, Medal of Honor recipient. And this is when my buddy was in the military, and he was stationed out there doing recruiting. So we all went out there and did the run, and then, did the sites and all that stuff.
That's very cool. No, it is. Did you have any good games out in New York?
Did I ever have any good games?
Yeah. Did you like playing at that stadium? Did you play there a lot? I'm trying to think if you
played there a couple times, I think. No, the stadium sucked.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that great. Last thing about New York, we're going to talk about some Iowa football here coming up. Did you mentioned pizza? Did you eat any of the pizza?
Yeah, I made. Nobody's going to knock pizza out of my hand.
Ah, boy. I think New York pizza is better than Chicago style pizza. Am I crazy?
I just think they're all. It's overhyped. It's so overhyped. What kind of pizza do you like?
We went to this pizzeria. So it was the New York stuff. So it's the thin crust, and it was kind of cool. We got pepperoni, and then we could make toppings. You could add toppings, and so I think this sounds good. But the waiter looked at me like I had ordered like and I picked like the chicken strips or chicken cutlets is what they called it. So basically fried chicken, and bacon. So it's chicken bacon pizza, and he's like, "Oh, I guess so." I'm like, "Was that weird?" He goes, "Don't get that very often." I'm like, all right. Anyways, I just thought it was really good. I don't know why. And I'm not a pizza guy. Like, I think in general, pizza's overrated. I think pizza's
Really?
pizza, except Godfather's pizza. That pizza is the best pizza in the entire world. But in general, I think pizza's pizza. But I like New York style pizza. Do you have a preference, or could you care less? Couldn't care less.
Thank you for fixing that.
You're welcome.
No, I like thin pizza that's crispy.
That's New York.
Yeah, we had a lunch meeting on like Tuesday, I think it was, and we were supposed to get pizza, and me and my boss had our fingers crossed the whole time we were going to get Godfathers, because it was probably going to be Godfathers or Happy Joe's. And when they opened that door and it was Godfathers, oh, dude, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Have you ever had their bacon cheeseburger pizza?
Yes.
It's really good. It's really good.
Loved
Okay,
it.
let's talk some Iowa football. Like, the season is like less than a month away, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. As you look at this team for this season, and we're gonna have media day next Friday, a week from today. What's the biggest thing that you're wondering about as the color commentator, face of Iowa football? What's your biggest question as you head? If you're going to media day next Friday, what's the question you want to ask Kirk Ferentz?
Oh, I'm not going to ask him any questions.
I get it, but if you could.
But what I'm, obviously, it sounds stupid because I am a linebacker, but it's our most inexperienced position. You have to ask him about the linebackers. I mean, and you've got Carson Shire. I mean, I was with Logan Jones and Ethan Herkett on Monday. Me and Dolph golfed with them and had a really good time. And I asked him about Carson, and both of them were like, dude, he's a freak. He's an athletic freak, and I'm so much looking forward to him. And Jaden Harrell, he got a chance to talk to him about a month ago, and he's squared away dude. He looks and talks like a middle linebacker. And they've got Jackson Rexroth as well too. So you've got three guys that have played, right, but they don't have a lot of experience, and I think that's the big thing. And obviously the defense in a whole too. The defense, with the nose tackle coming in, we replace a corner, and our cash position. Who's going to play cash? Is it Intringer when he's not at safety? It'd be interesting to see how just that plays out. And everybody's going to talk to him about quarterback and all that stuff. I'm not concerned about that. I'm excited. I'm really, really excited to watch him compete, and I'm excited to watch these guys on the defense that haven't had much experience to be freaking household names by the end of the year. Like it's gonna be really cool.
You mentioned that, and your name was one of those that went from relatively unknown to a household name. What is that season like? And I guess it's a tough question as you're going through it, you don't know you're going through it. But when you look at these players, the same thing that happened with Jay Higgins eventually. Who's going to replace Jack Campbell? And here comes Jay Higgins. And who's going to replace Josie Jewell? And the next person would come in. What is that like, getting that opportunity? Because you look at certain positions at Iowa, tight end, linebacker, certain positions, it's the next one. So there's that pressure as well. Did you know or feel any of that pressure as well when it came to being the next person in that type of position?
I mean, no real pressure as far as like, from the fans' perspective, or, hey, I want everybody to remember me. I mean, I wanted to be accountable to my teammates, and I wanted to be prepared the best I could be prepared. And, luckily I had in 08 and 09, I mean, arguably two of the best D lines in Iowa football history. You go with that. Obviously 02 and 04, they had some good D lines as well. I just wanted to do well for my teammates. I didn't really care about, accolades or anything like that. And I'm sure these guys have that same mindset. They're not in there to try to make a name for themselves. They're in there to do their job. And, I think they will. And obviously you've got Phil Parker, who's the greatest defensive coordinator in the country. He's going to have these guys prepared. He's going to have them ready to go. And Seth Wallace, linebacker coach, all he's done is coach All-American linebackers every freaking year that he's been there. And he'll have these guys prepared, and they'll be cooking with gas here before we know it.
I'm hoping you looked at the schedule. Is there a game when you do? What game on the schedule do you like? As a guy that's going to get to go to all of them and get a pretty good seat next to Dolph, is there a game you circle? What's the most intriguing game on the schedule? And then maybe what's the most under the radar game on the schedule that you're kind of intrigued to see this year?
I take the mindset of like a player. Like it's Albany. Like that's the game. And then all right, after that game, then it's Iowa State, right? And and then we'll go from there. But I'm really looking forward to Albany, seeing what we put out there, and it'll be interesting too to see, like, do we, because the one thing too, like, how much of Lester's offense did he put in last year? Like, really, how much did he put in? 5 to 10%, probably, right? I mean, because with the injuries and different guys coming in with different experience levels. I'm looking forward to see what we show, or are we going to not show much so then we can show a whole bunch against Iowa State? I'm looking forward to see that smoothness and just seeing, that one spring practice that I was at, like, they were taking shots downfield and receivers were getting up there making plays. And there's a kid that they've all talked about is KJ Parker, young kid from Michigan that Herkett was like, dude, he's a playmaker. It's all he does is make plays. And so it'll be cool to see those guys and watch them compete and watch what Lester does. But yeah, I mean, for me, as far as like the games, like it's Albany. Let's go. Like, that's all I'm looking forward to right now.
You mentioned golfing with Herkett. Did you guys just get a bunch of information from him? Did you and Dolph just drill him the entire time? That poor kid.
No, not really. We probably should have.
Right?
we probably would have had a better podcast after we stopped recording and we went and we sat down and me and Dolph had a drink and they both had coffee. We probably would have got more. It would have been probably a little bit better listening wise from that conversation. But no, we weren't drilling. I mean, a lot of it was just talking about like my experience at Iowa versus theirs. Like it's completely different times. And even like I remember talking to Hat Peterson. Well, we didn't have camera phones and social media wasn't super big, so we could do.
You guys didn't get paid either.
Dumb. Yeah, honestly, though, I would rather not get paid and be able to do the dumb stuff that we did without getting fully in trouble.
That's probably true, but you got paid eventually on Sundays, which makes it a little easier when you get paid in the long run too.
They did pay for our college. You can't say we didn't get paid.
Yeah, and look at the benefits of that now. I mean, it's the gift that keeps on giving for you. What'd you major in? What was your major?
I was health and sports studies, dude. That's I was majored. It's a tough major.
Did you really minor in theater?
Yeah, I took. You've got to take a certain amount of. Yeah,
but you didn't minor in it. You just probably took a course.
Well, you had to take a certain amount of. Yeah, you had to take enough to have a minor, and I don't know.
It's paying off.
I took
now.
a whole bunch of. Yeah.
Before we let you go, because you got to go and lift weights or something. How are you feeling now, year two? Go back to August 1st last year. And I'll still always go back to your first game. I'll always go back to first in the booth and going up there. And I've seen you in a lot of situations. I've never seen you in that situation with that look on your face. You just kept saying the same thing over and over again. We're good. We're good. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're good. Let's do it. And now you got a season under your belt. You and Dolph play off each other fantastic. But you still obviously want to get better, got stuff to get better at, all those kind of things. Where are you at when it comes to year number 2 of the Pat Anger era in the booth?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's nice. It's nice knowing what I'm doing a little bit, like knowing how it works. That helps. That's nice to go into it, kind of knowing the process. I am definitely a lot more comfortable, but what I'm nervous about is being too comfortable. I want to still be a little bit nervous going into it to watch what the heck I say. It's still like you said, I gotta get better at everything. And I'm just, what I love about it, basically what it is, it's improv. You're basically improv in the whole, you don't have no idea what's going to happen. And you just have to react. And it's a rush and it's exciting. And, there'll be so many stories this year that just happen and you're just a part of all of them. And it's super cool. And it said this earlier, like it's such an honor to bring those fans into the game. Like it truly is a privilege. And it's really weird that I'm doing it. It's still weird. It's not, I don't know. It's a weird deal, man. But I'm glad that I'm in this position because it's a lot of fun.
Isn't it great having Dolph with you though? Like, I know we've talked about it a ton, but he's just the best. And like he helps you along the way and elevates you along the way, if that makes any sense. He's helping you, but it's not like he's lowering himself to help you. He's elevating you up to his level with how good he is. He's really good at what he does, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't think people understand just how good he is. I mean, he carries the whole freaking thing. He is so phenomenal at what he does, and the fact that, like, I mean, he's doing. There's certain times where he's doing, a football game, then 2 days later a basketball game. Like, I don't know how, and then traveling all around. I don't know how he just does that, just with the energy levels, and he keeps that same energy level. Like I never really thought that I would run into somebody that loves Iowa football and cares about Iowa football, who didn't play as much as I did, and he loves it. It means a lot to him, it's I'm excited to get there up in that booth with him, getting that first game and just get it going.
Were you guys close? Like, I mean, when you played, and then did you stay in touch until you got the gig, or like what was your relationship with Dolph before, obviously, and now being the most powerful duo in the state of Iowa, obviously?
Dolph was always a guy that you weren't like super close with him, but he was always a guy that because you are a little bit guarded sometimes when it comes to media when you're playing. Obviously, I wasn't with you and Tom, and pretty much I wasn't with any of you guys, but they were guys that you could open up to and you could be yourself to, and they're guys that no matter what, like, they're going to have your back. Dolph and Ed, and Dolph's a guy that didn't talk to him too much after I got done playing, but it was, once or twice a year, I'd run into him or give him a call or shoot the crap with him. But he's something else, man. He's so great. He's literally a living legend. He's a freaking living legend.
Well, here's my hope. I don't know if you heard this. I think you've heard this, but for some reason, the University of Iowa is cool with me doing this show next Friday up at Iowa Football Media Day. So from 2 to 4, we're doing the show during Media Day. I'm going to see if Dolph will come on over and sit down with me for a little bit. And I'm assuming, I know you'll be there to hang out with me for a little bit as well, correct?
I'll just be riding Dolph's coattails for sure.
Isn't it great? It's like he's a rock star, man. He walks around and you rock and roll with him. But no, it's going to be a ton of fun. Next Friday, we're doing Off the Air in Iowa City. We've taken the show on the road, and we've gone to Oscar's, fantastic establishment, Andrew Lehman's office, and now up to the University of Iowa. So we're slowly working our way up the depth chart a little bit. So, all right, my friend. Well, I feel like you got like some benches to do or something like that. We'll catch up with you. You don't have to deal with me on Monday. Like, this is your anger Monday. You're done, and we'll just catch up on Friday when we're at the at Media Day. I remember you Media Day last year. We just stood back during Kirk's press conference and made jokes and giggled. You remember that?
Yeah, let's do that again.
Deal. I'll see you then. So, all right, pal. Have a good Friday. Appreciate you. All right, that is the one and only Pat Anger, and thank God there's only one Pat Anger here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. We got a lot more to get to coming up after the break. There's a new head basketball coach out of Geneseo, a late process, a late departure, meaning a late ad here, summertime-wise. We'll introduce you to the new head Maple Leaf. That, and we got the owner of the Wheelers, Doug Bland, coming up as well, and Greg Armstrong from View from the West. A jam-packed Off the Air on a Friday right here in the Quad Cities. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area It's Hungry Hobo, now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Here, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss pre-arrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with. Are you looking to take your next party, tailgate, or golf outing to the next level? You need Mobile Party Experience. MPX features 3 top-of-the-line party trailers equipped with all the amenities you need to party like a rock star. Smart TVs, Yeti coolers, JBL sound systems, grills, bathrooms, and much more. Mobile Party Experience is an experience like no other. Check out my-mpx.com or call 563-514-1470 and book your Mobile Party Experience today. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. Of course, everyone thinking football with football season right around the corner, but basketball season is going to be here before you know it, and there's a new head coach in the Western Big Six, and there's a new boys basketball coach out at Geneseo High School as well. Really excited to welcome TJ Lacey to the show. First and foremost, my friend, technology has never been one of my best suits, so I appreciate your patience, and I appreciate you joining me this morning. Thanks so much.
No problem. I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. You are the new head basketball coach at Geneseo High School. We're going to learn a little bit about you in a second, but when you hear that, when you hear those words that you're a head coach at Geneseo High School, what does that mean to you?
I mean, it's almost unreal. I've prayed and I've dreamed to be a head coach at the high school level for a long time, and it means the world to me. I'm super excited about the opportunity. I'm very grateful for the people that I get to work with here, and I'm glad to have a community like Geneseo to be supporting me in this process.
What was this process like? Because I mean, in all honesty, it's a late process. It opened up recently. I want to say right around the 4th of July ish, and maybe end of June, and here we are, beginning of August. And you're now a head basketball coach. What was this last month like, finding about the opportunity, interviews, all those kind of things? It was a quicker process, but talk about the process itself.
The last month is kind of like the last year of my life, honestly. We took a leap of faith and just moved to the Quad Cities, never even having seen the place. So I took a leap of faith and applied. I didn't actually expect to even get the job, honestly. My pastor told me that it was available, and I put my name in. I was already going through some things at my last job and just trying to figure out where me, my wife, and my kids could actually find a home in the community at that we felt comfortable in. And so I just appreciate Geneseo inviting me back for a second interview and giving me the opportunity. It already feels like a home type environment, and I can already feel the love from the community and the administration here at Geneseo. So it's been great.
Absolutely. When you get to Geneseo and you see and you meet people, and that community is a great community, what is it about Geneseo that made it be a job that was open to being a job that you really wanted and home for you right now?
I think just like the opportunity for not just like myself to grow, but for my wife and my kids to be able to grow in and for the community to grow with as well. I've always dreamed of just being at a place a long time and turning it around and turning it to something that everybody wanted to be a part of. So the opportunity for growth in myself and growth in the school and the basketball program and all of it.
Yeah, absolutely. TJ Lacey, the new head coach at Geneseo, joining me right now on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. You're a Chicago boy. Take me through your background and the game of basketball, the game that you love. You know a lot about the state and Chicagoland area. Take me through your upbringing in the game of basketball.
So I started playing because my older brother played. He's passed away now, but it was his dream to play, and since he wasn't able to live that out, I kind of just like tried to step into his shoes. And so I've been playing since like 8th grade and started taking it serious going into high school. He played at Hyde Park, so I went to go play at Hyde Park for my first couple of years. And it was great. Like a lot of my best friends, I got to play with my brothers and things like that. And then my last two more free at Longwood, I got an opportunity to actually have a bigger role. And so I went to Longwood just to see if I could grow as a player in the ways that I wanted to as well. So growing up in Chicago, growing up in Illinois, you see that it's a lot of basketball and a lot of basketball players. And so I was just one of what seemed like a million kids with the same dream, trying to figure out a way to get opportunities after high school. So I put myself around a lot of the right people. I trained hard every single day. I played against some of the top talent in the world in high school, and it's got me the chance to play college basketball afterwards. So to be able to coach in Illinois and be not too far from home and able to go back to play against my old high school coach someday, it's a dream come true. And I'm just excited to have the platform and I have the chance to be able to do that.
You got to play college basketball up in Rockford. I know you coached there a little bit as well. Your journey to becoming a coach, obviously, basketball ends for everybody at some point. Even me, it was a lot earlier for me than you, obviously, but it ends. When did you kind of realize that this is the role you wanted to do? You wanted to stay in the game. You wanted to give back, if you will, to the game of basketball and coach.
So my entire life, I knew that I would be working with kids, mentoring, finding a way to be able to help guide young men. I didn't always have that consistently as a young man growing up. And so as an adult and as a dad, I just kind of realized that like it's pivotal to have men helping to raise the next generation of young men. So I always knew that. It wasn't until like I started my college career at Trinity Christian College, and I had one coach my freshman year, Brandon Nickel. He's a QC guy. He owns a business in Davenport. He saw in me a coach before I was a coach. Then I had another coach at Trinity. He saw in me a coach before I was a coach. And then I played one season at Rockford. And that year, Coach Regal was like, dude, you're a coach. I'd bring you on after the season was over if you were open to it. And so when I was done at Trinity, I had plans to keep playing basketball. I thought I'd go play in London. But my first son was also born at that time too. And at the time, my wife was like, dude, like, I do not want to be here raising our son alone while you're in London playing basketball. And so at the time I was like, I feel like I'm too young to give that up. But also was how I was raised kind of made me realize that I wanted to be with my son every single day. And so I kind of chose to be a more present dad than to keep playing basketball. And then from there, just tried to figure out ways to keep me around the game, honestly. So me getting hired as a college basketball coach immediately after I was done playing was like a blessing, because I don't know what I'd do without the game right now. I can't picture life without me being a coach around it in some facets. So just opportunities, being around the right people and having relationships with the right people, honestly.
Absolutely. TJ Lacey joining us right now on OTA. What does a TJ Lacey coach team look like? I don't want to get two X's and O's and everything like that. I don't need any sets or anything, but like, what are the principles? What is the style that you want to play when it comes to a Coach Lacey coach team?
Our principles it'll always be to just be a tough team and be a selfless team. So we'll share the basketball. We'll play really hard. We'll defend. We'll communicate. I take pride in like one of my guys to do all of the things that don't take talent. So I know X's and O's, and I have the offense that we'll be running already ready to put in. But I'm more so like if we do all of the little things, the things that require us to not even remember a play, we'll be a good team. So we'll play really, really hard, diving for loose balls, defending, talking, rebounding, all of those things. We'll get the ball off the rim and try to push in transition, but we'll also make the defense work by taking great shots and sharing the basketball.
You mentioned growing up in Chicago, playing in Chicago. You're in the Western Big Six now, and it's, people look at Chicago and it's great basketball there. I'm pretty proud of the Western Big Six and the basketball that's in the Western Big Six. What's it like to be in that conference? What do you know about that conference? And it's good basketball each and every time out in the Western Big Six.
That it's a great league. Like I said
at Geneseo High School, obviously it's a program that has gone through some leaner years of late. What's it been like meeting these kids and getting them on board and getting the energy at Geneseo where it needs to be?
When I first met them, like all of the guys seemed like they were ready to work. So I'm excited about that because from what I hear, they don't like to lose either. And so hopefully we can get some energy in here and get these guys to buy in so that we can turn this thing around. All of the guys seem like they're on board. They've been responsive. They let me talk to them. I told them that I'd coach them hard, and they didn't leave the gym after I said that. So that's been good. And in the community, from everybody I've heard from, they are ready for basketball to be where it once was. So I've been getting a lot of love and a lot of support from the Geneseo community and from the Quad Cities in general. So it's been great.
I love it. I love it. A few more before I let you go. Kind of doing my own little research. You're a basketball player. You're a smart boy. A valedictorian. Is this true? How smart is smart, young man? I'm impressed.
Yeah, I did graduate high school valedictorian. My GPA was like a 4.6, and I took classes early on in high school, like AP classes, and I was in the IB program that kind of made it hard for anybody else to have the scale that I had my GPA on. So I guess I was pretty smart.
Hey, you're at an advantage because you're going to be smarter than Coach Taylor. He's an idiot. Coach Polite at Rock Island, he doesn't know what's going on. Coach Morrell, and Coach Say at UT, that guy's, no, I'm kidding. They're all great coaches. But you got a chance to outsmart these guys, right?
I don't know about that. They've got a lot more experience, especially in the Big Six, than I do. I've met Coach Polite, and I've also met Coach Taylor. One of my best friends played for Coach Taylor in high school, so and all of the coaches in the Western Big Six a whole lot. So I don't expect to be smarter than anybody. I got to go through my lumps just like they did to get to where they're at. So
I love it. Before I let you go, you got 2 boys, and I got 4 boys of my own, and I love it. Those 2 guys in your life, how much do they motivate you? I know basketball does. You seem like a motivated guy in general, but you seem like a family man. How much does that wife of yours and those 2 little boys probably motivate you every single day?
I wouldn't be able to coach basketball without my wife. Honestly, she supported me. She's basically stepped into that role as being a coach's wife, and she knows what comes with it, and she's all for it. She's all for supporting me and making me the best person that I can be. So she won't let me slack off. She'll push me to be the best coach that I can be. She knows I'm a hard worker, so she'll support me in that. She played college basketball, so she gives me tips and she helps me out and everything too. So I'm blessed to have her and have her support me. My boys, they ain't my everything, man. Like, seriously, like I changed my whole life to be able to be the kind of dad that they were worthy of having. So I just want to continue to be the best example for them and give them something to look up to as they grow into young men themselves.
Well, TJ, I appreciate your time. Excited about Geneseo High School and what's to come. Get to work. I have no doubt you're going to bring enthusiasm and success to Geneseo High School. And most importantly, thank you for dealing with me because internet's been funky. We got what we needed to get to. You did a fantastic job, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you for having me, Matt.
All right. That is TJ Lacey, the new head basketball coach at Geneseo High School. Excited for the future out with the Maple Leafs. We got more to get to. The Quad City Steamwheelers have a huge home playoff game coming up this Saturday. Their owner, Doug Bland, is next right here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo.
Hello, Dan Pearson here of FCA. Our team is thrilled to support Off the Air with our good friend Matt Randazzo. We share the view of the power of sport when it comes to relationships, including the influence of the coach. FCA believes the coach is the most influential person in America. Matt celebrates local coaches and athletes. His content is informational, insightful, and inspirational. Our Fellowship of Christian Athlete team loves partnering with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo while we engage, equip, and empower coaches and athletes in our 23 counties. FCA, the heart and soul in sports.
View from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football.
It's going to be a hard-hitting game. It's going to be great football.
Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois.
This is the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
View from the West. We got you covered.
Are you looking for the Quad City's best chips and salsa? There's only one dude to turn to.
Right on.
Snoop. Hand-cut chips, fried fresh with that crunch you've come to love. And the most addicting salsa with delicious fresh ingredients each and every time. Pick up your chips and salsa, queso, enchiladas, and much more at the Stern Center in Rock Island. To place your order, simply call the man himself. It's Snoop at 309-314-8197 and find out for yourself what the rest of the Quad Cities already loves.
For the first time in 18 years, playoff football is back in the Quad Cities. Saturday, August 2nd at 3 p.m., your Quad City Steamwheelers take to the ex-USD field at Vibrant Arena in a winner-go-home battle to see who advances to the Eastern Conference Championship. Tickets start at just $10, and the energy is going to be off the charts. Don't miss out on a moment 18 years in the making. Get your seats now at steamwheelersfootball.com/playoffs, and let's pack the house.
Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. You just saw the commercial, the promo. It is an exciting weekend here in the Quad Cities. Playoff football back in the Quad Cities for the first time since 2007, 18 years since the Quad City Steamwheelers have had a home playoff game. That ends tomorrow afternoon at 3:05, and joined now by one of the owners of the Wheelers, Doug Bland. It's about time, young man. Let's do this. I'm all fired up.
How are you doing, Matt? Ready to go, buddy?
Yeah, no, and it's an exciting time. Before we get into some like X's and O's, I love to talk your brain on that kind of stuff. To be able to have a home playoff game, to be the number one overall seed. What does it mean to you? I know it's something that this community has wanted for a while. I know it's something that means a lot to you and your staff and everyone with the Wheelers. What's this weekend going to be like for you guys?
Well, it's a lot less stressful than it is when you have to go on the road. I mean, the last 4 seasons we've had to literally hop on a plane or hop on a bus. The bus is a great thing when you got to hop on a plane on 5 days notice, and you got to buy 30 plane tickets on 5 days notice and figure out, how you're going to get from the airport to the hotel, and then from the hotel to the arena. And it's just a nightmare to deal with. And now, luckily, that's the other team's problem. So all we got to do is sell some tickets. And that's what we're trying to do right now is, sell some tickets. Financially, from our standpoint, obviously it's way better to be able to sell tickets instead of traveling to a venue to be the entertainment. Now we're hosting the entertainment, so yeah, it's a big deal for
it. Doug, it's such a great fan base, and it's been a good following all season long. I've said from the jump that like this fan base really, you can tell, is excited about this team, and there's been an extra buzz this year. What's it going to be like to have those fans? We know, we talk financially, not having to travel and getting butts in seats and stuff, but football wise, they make a huge difference when it comes to winning and losing football games, don't they?
Yeah, it's in outdoor football, they call it the 12th man. Here it's our 9th man. So we've got a fantastic crowd. Rewarding our fans for this great season to allow them to come see playoff football here in the Quad Cities is huge. And it definitely, I was joking with our season ticket holders at our season ticket holder party on Monday night. I said, if we can, pack this place to the ceiling and have 8,000 people in this vibrant on Saturday. I said, I don't care if you bring the Chicago Bears in here, we're going to beat their butt, right? So, it's just that it's so loud and the fans are going crazy, and it's so hard for the opposing team when the cowbells are rattling and the horns are going and the fans are chanting defense, and you're trying to call a play, and it's hard. I'm telling you now, it's hard on that offense when our fans are really going crazy when our defense is on the turf.
Doug Bland joining me right now and Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Doug, you look at this team and you look at this organization, and it was earlier in the year. I think Coach Ross brought it up. Maybe it was Stud Rudd, and he's like, we haven't had a playoff game here in a long time. And it hit me because it's been, you mentioned going to playoffs, and heck, the championship game 2-3 years ago, whatever it was, the success has been there. It's an anomaly that this fan base hasn't gotten to see a home playoff game. It's strange to me, but it's something that I know you guys are proud that's happening. It is weird that it's been that long, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, 10 of those 18 years was when the team was dormant. So. Yeah. And then we had the COVID year too. So actually 9 of those years it's been dormant, right? So it's the calendar time, but seasons that were active, it hasn't been all that long. But it's the first time since the reiteration of the Steamwheelers that this has happened. And, the bottom line, you got to be a number 1 or number 2 seed to host playoff games. So out of, 16 teams, you got to be to the top 4, period. Yeah. And there's this league is packed full of good football teams, So we've been a 3 seed, we've been a 4 seed, we've never been a 1 or a 2 since we've been in the IFL. So now we're a number 1 seed. So the whole entire playoffs go through here.
Talk about what you guys are doing as an organization to make sure fans do get out. I mean, I've seen so much great things on social media and videos and promotions and ways to get people. And unfortunately, I got 4 kids. I know how life is busy and there's always things pulling away from a really good football game. Talk about the things that you guys as an organization want to do to get people in the seats and get there on Saturday afternoon for what should be an amazing football game.
Yeah, so we did a rally type promotion. The first 2,500 fans to the door are going to get a playoff branded rally towel. They're doing drink specials where they're turning back the prices to 2007, the last time we had a playoff game, for I think it's like a 24-ounce beer for $3.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and then our tickets. So we have $10 upper bowl tickets and $18 lower bowl tickets. So and we did the 18 to match up with the 18 years since the home playoff game. So we try to get as creative as we can, give every single reason. And the thing is, listen, if you're a fan out there, or you're a friend of a family member or a coworker, or a buddy of yours that's never been to a Steamwheeler game, I can't think of any time you would better come than playoff football. In the environments, it's going to be unbelievable. Experience for people, especially if you've never been to one before. Maybe it's been 2, 4, 5, 6 years since you've been to a Steamwheeler game. Get your butt out here, man. I mean, this is going to be a show. We got the Jacksonville Sharks coming to town. We beat them at our place here pretty handily. I think we beat them by 28. And then when we played down there, they beat us pretty handily. So, I think we should have a really competitive game. And, essentially the Eastern Conference Championship is on the line here. So, we're gonna put everything we can possibly go at it to deliver this win for our fans.
Absolutely. And there is so much going on, but it's not anymore. Like I tell people, I think myself and some of the boys are going to go down as well. And it's like, don't tell me baseball season's going on, kids, because it's not, and school hasn't started yet. It's a perfect time to get out there and enjoy some really, and you mentioned the affordability of it. Doug, I just got back from the East Coast and I tried to take my kids to a baseball game, 2 of them. I think I got to take out a loan in order to pay for that. And I've been to NFL football games are ridiculous. I mean, they are. And to go and watch this sport, a sport that people are always craving, it's football, to go and talk about the affordability of it, Doug, because it is. I mean, to say for $10 or $18 or whatever it is, you can get in and get a beer for $3 more. I mean, it's worth the price of admission and then some. It's the best deal in town.
Oh man, I'm telling you. I mean, you talking about the cost of going to sporting events. I mean, we are kind of stuck in the past here, and we realize that, you got to understand, for us to be a number one seed in this whole entire league, to be the smallest team in the market, all the smallest markets in all 16 teams in the league, right? We are the smallest. We have the smallest staff. We've got 3 full-time people. That's it, that run this team. We have the smallest budget in the league. We run this team on $850,000. The Arizona Rattlers run their team on $2.5 million.
Wow.
It's like everything is, we're David versus Goliath, and we're still the number one seed in this thing. And our goal is we're not going to be happy unless we got rings on our fingers come August 23rd.
I want to talk football with you because you're the owner, but like, I feel like I'm talking to a coach when I talk to you. You're very dialed into what's going on in the field. I don't know if Corey Ross loves that or hates that. Who knows? But I think he likes it.
There's times he hates it, I can assure you, and then there's times that he loves it.
Texting
him on the road games when I'm in my recliner watching the game, texting him like, what kind of call is that?
I love it. You mentioned it's such a intriguing matchup because y'all took care of business at home and then went down there, and I'm trying to think of the time period of health and who was out there and who wasn't on the road games and all that kind of stuff. So I'm doing that in my head as I think, but not making excuses. But both teams took care of business on their home field. Hopefully that happens on Saturday as well. But what has to happen for on the field wise this team to be successful? And we can talk next week about another home playoff game.
We can't turn the ball over, Matt. That's the thing. I mean, when we played down there in Jacksonville, we fumbled twice and threw a pick. You lose 3 possessions against a good football team, you're down 21 points. I mean, it's that simple. And then when you're trying to play catch up football, you're making choices that you wouldn't normally make. You got to go for it on 4th down. You got to, there's all these things that you wouldn't do if your back wasn't against the wall. So. And we were out. Kadir Shepard was out. Keyshawn Moore was out. Bubba was out. I mean, we had a lot of people out during that game against Jacksonville, but we did not play well. I mean, we coughed up 2 of the fumbles were inside the red zone. I mean, inside the 10-yard line. So you talking about a 14-point spread when you're about to score and you cough up the ball and then they go down and score. That's a 14-point turnaround. That happened twice.
Yeah.
So, that happens twice. This 28-point turnaround. It's hard to recover from something like that.
You look at, and in this league too, Doug, like turnovers are bad in any type of football, but because of there's sometimes you can get away with it. Most often turnover turns into points for the other team. So like you mentioned, it takes it away from you and it gives it to the other team. And that's important. The way this team is playing right now, they've had 6-game winning streaks. They've had a few losing streaks along the way. Watching them and the way they're playing the last several weeks, how confident are you? Because they seem to be playing good football and there's not any week. It's funny in the NFL, you look and you're like, oh, they go to Iowa. That should be an easy game. It's not. It's a rivalry game on the road in this league. There's never a layup in this league. I get that. But now it's even magnified. Like you're playing the best of the best teams in this league. You mentioned not hurting yourselves. You got to play really good football to survive and advance in these playoffs, don't you?
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, we can't turn the ball over, and we need to get a couple turnovers. I mean, we need to get a couple picks, and we got to get a fumble or a safety or I mean, you got to get some stuff done on your half of it. Oh, sorry about that.
Uh-oh, lights are out.
Yeah, I'm in the conference room at the Vibrant Arena here, and I think if there's no activity and they turn the lights
Start
out.
moving around a little bit. Start shaking it. I was going to say, my internet's been funky, Doug, but I didn't think it. There we go. The lights are back. I was going to say.
Hope this is no indication of how the game's going to go.
No, you guys are going to play lights out. It's going to be an indication, a good indication. Out. But no, it's an exciting time, and you're right. You have to play really, really good football to survive and advance. I know these players, and you get to know them and you talk to them, and that's what I love about you as an owner is that you're hands-on, even being in Texas and coming back and forth and all that kind of stuff. We had Stud Rudd in 2 weeks ago. He announced with us that next year's going to be his last year. but to watch him hope to make this team, and now was 8 years ago, 7 years ago, whatever it was, and now be such a fixture. And there's good stories like that. Coach Ross has been with this organization for so long, where he's our guy. That's a Quad Cityan. Stud Rudd is a Quad Cityan. Let's talk about Stud Rudd for a second. What has he meant to this organization to be a constant, not just football player and good on the field, but representation in this area of what this organization's about?
Yeah, he's a very quality young man. He has his little his Key Connect program that he's doing, the kids camps, and anytime we need an appearance in the community, I don't hesitate to call Kevin and say, hey, or have Destiny call him and say, hey, can you go do this for us? And he's been when you think of the Steamwheelers in this community, you think of Rudd. So. And we got another one coming up that's going to probably pass the torch, and that's Jordan Vesey, from Rock Island. So Jordan has had a hell of a season, on the field. A very good young man. It speaks well, and I mean he's very similar to Rudd. And he's performing. I mean that's the key, and it's I'm excited about the future. And there's going to be kids that are sitting in the grandstands now that they want to be like Rudd too. Rudd was a ball boy, and then he becomes a player. In VC, he used to come to games when he was a little kid, and now he's a player. I mean, how cool is it to be a pro football player in the hometown you grew up in? You know, I mean, what could be better than that?
No, absolutely. Doug Bland, a few more questions for you before I let you go. When it comes to this team, you talk about, and we've talked about so much offense, about Stud Rudd and not turning the ball over and that kind of stuff. You touched on the defensive side of stuff and taking the ball away. And I thought Thurgood's done such a good job of getting this defense not just to play well, but be opportunistic and get those mistakes, get those turnovers. Defense is going to have a big say in Saturday, isn't it?
100%. If we get a turnover and we get 2 stops, we're going to win this ball game. And a stop in this game is a missed field goal, or just keep them from scoring a touchdown, essentially. And if you can get 2 stops and a turnover, you should win every game. You should win every game. No. And if you look at those first, 9 of the first 8 of the first 9 games that we won in this season, we led the league in turnovers as far as our defense did. I think Terrell had like four picks already that early in the season. Duncan had like 2 or 3 strips, and I mean we were really doing well. We had a couple strip sacks, we had a couple pick sixes. I mean that changes the ball game. I mean it's a big thing. So if we can get a turnover or 2. Turn the lights out, just like just happened a minute ago.
I love it. Before I let you go, I want to take this to a personal angle, or on a personal note with you. You bought this team, and you're an Illinois guy. I think Ottawa, right? Is that where you grew up?
Yep.
In the Ottawa area?
Yeah.
And you can see you love the game of football, and you love these kind of things. To be able to have a weekend like we're getting ready to have, what's it mean to you to be an owner of this organization? Give it stability first and foremost. Give it stability that it's had for the last several years. What's it mean for you, and what will it be like tomorrow afternoon to sit there at Vibrant Arena and look down at ex-USD Field and watch a playoff game? What's it gonna be like for you?
Very rewarding. It's probably going to be as rewarding as in 2018 when we had the first game, and all that hard work and talking with, Scott Mullins and the city to bring the team back and selling all the tickets in advance and trying to do all the sponsorships. And I mean, we started in August of 2017 to try to get this thing launched. And then obviously, the first game, I think it was February 20th or something like that of 2018, and I think we had like 7,500 people in the building. I mean, it was packed, and it was pretty darn cool. This is going to be right there with it, I would think. To not only control your own destiny to a championship, but to do it in front of your home crowd fans that have been by your side for the last 8 years.
No, it's I'm getting fired up just thinking about it. One last call to people, if you got nothing going on Saturday, even if you got something going on, cancel it, right? Get down to Vibrant Arena. Tickets are on sale still right now. Rally towels for the first 2,500 people into the arena. What time do the gates open? What time can people get in there? I know it's a 3:05 kick.
Yeah, the box office will be open early. You can come on down and get your ticket at the door. I mean, save on those Ticketmaster fees, whatever you want to do. Get here. And upper bowls are only $10. In lower bowls, there's $18 tickets. So I mean, you can't beat that. We're rolling back those prices to 2007. So the game's at 3:05. I think the gates are actually open at like 1:45 or so. Fantastic. Or excuse me, about 1:45. Yeah.
If they're not open at 1:45, find Doug and just hang out with Doug until they open up. I appreciate you. I can't wait to talk again next week with yourself or somebody else. I've really enjoyed doing the Steamwheeler Wednesdays this entire season. Getting to know the amount of players that I've gotten to know. That's the cool thing, Doug. You got good football players. You got good human beings in the organization. I know that's something that you're really proud of.
Man, listen, there's a lot of talented football players throughout the country, but finding ones with good character that all have the same kind of character and mentality of what it takes to be a Steamwheeler. I mean, we have this thing called the Wheeler Way, and you're not going to be a great athlete and come in here and act a fool in this community because we're going to cut your ass and throw you on the next bus home. We don't play like that. So you come in here, you're representing not only the Steamwheelers, you're representing me, you're representing Destiny, you're representing Coach Ross, and you're representing everybody in this community. So you have to be a good quality person to be involved with this. We want good football players, but we want people that we're proud of saying, hey, these are the young men that were representing us nationwide when we go and play these games all over the country.
Love it. Doug, I can't wait for Saturday. I'm going to sneak down there. I'll find you somewhere along the way, and we'll catch up again real soon.
Looking forward to it.
I appreciate you. Doug Bland, Steamwheelers owner. Have fun on Saturday. Let's get a win.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. That is Doug Bland, the owner of the Quad City Steamwheelers. Playoff football back in the Quad Cities. Everyone extremely excited for that, and it comes 3:05 Saturday. Get down. Seriously. $10 for a ticket to a football game is unheard of. So get down there, find some friends. I know there's been several people that I know that are probably watching the show that have said to me in person, I need to get down to a Wheelers game. They seem like a ton of fun. Do it this weekend. There's no better time to get down there than right now to check out the Quad City Steamwheelers. It should be a great game on Saturday. Well, we got more to get to. Speaking of football, high school football. 4 weeks from tonight. It's crazy how quick it's going to be there. We'll chat a little high school football with our good friend from View from the West, Greg Armstrong. That and much more. You're watching a jam-packed Friday edition of Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. We'll be right back. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak, with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Here, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with. Are you looking to take your next party, tailgate, or golf outing to the next level? You need Mobile Party Experience. MPX features 3 top-of-the-line party trailers equipped with all the amenities you need to party like a rock star. Smart TVs, Yeti coolers, JBL sound systems, grills, bathrooms, and much more. Mobile Party Experience is an experience like no other. Check out my-mpx.com or call 563-514-1470 and book your Mobile Party Experience today.
For the first time in 18 years, playoff football is back in the Quad Cities. Saturday, August 2nd at 3 p.m., your Quad City Steamwheelers take to the ex-USD field at Vibrant Arena in a winner-go-home battle to see who advances to the Eastern Conference Championship. Tickets start at just $10, and the energy is going to be off the charts. Don't miss out on a moment 18 years in the making. Get your seats now at steamwheelersfootball.com/playoffs, and let's pack the house.
Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. Friday, August 1st. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate that. Make sure you're subscribing as well. We are also on X as well. We are waiting to be joined by our good friend Greg Armstrong, who tells me via text that he's in, but I don't see him. So we'll kind of wait a little bit and see if we can get him to pop up here in just a second. As we mentioned, though, it is coming up on high school football season. High school football season is 4 weeks from right now. That's when the games start. Most of the practices start on August 11th, so coming up a week from this Monday, and it's such a fun, great time of year, and we've got a lot of things that we're going to do when it comes to high school football here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Coming up, starting Monday, we're going to start our OTA football previews. We are going to be chatting with a high school football coach from Iowa and Illinois each day here on the show to kind of get you previewed on what you can expect from your team. So really cool venue to be able to do that. For the last, 15 or 20 years, 25 years actually, I've ran around the area and gotten football previews. So it's a way for me to continue that, but instead of me running out to the practices, kind of bring the coaches and the practices to us here on the show. So really excited about that as well. Texting with Greg as we speak to see if we can get him to pop up here on the show here in just a second. So, so we'll be starting those previews coming up next week as well. Now, also coming up on August 17th, we are going to be, it's a Sunday, we're going to be at the Other Bar in Moline, teaming up with View from the West to do a View from the West kickoff party when it comes to the high school football season. Several coaches from around the area, from the Western Big Six, from the LLC, from the Three Rivers, several coaches coming there. We're encouraging public, fans, players, anybody who wants to come on out there, have some food, get something to eat, get something to drink as well, and watch a fun show as we get you ready for the high school football season. So that's coming up on August 17th, 5 p.m., the Other Bar down in Moline. So check that out. Come join us. I'm really excited to take the show on the road several times this spring, or I should say this fall, starting with the Iowa Football Media Day. And then, of course, this will be on the 17th as well. Also coming up, we will have the Iowa Football Media Day will be live as well when it comes to a show from there as well. So we're going to take a tiny quick break because I'm going to figure some things out when it comes to getting Greg Armstrong here on the show. And I can't talk and do that at the same time. So one more quick break right here on OTA. We'll be back right after this. Are you looking to take your next party, tailgate, or golf outing to the next level? You need mobile party experience. MPX features 3 top-of-the-line party trailers equipped with all the amenities you need to party like a rock star. Smart TVs, Yeti coolers, JBL sound systems, grills, bathrooms, and much more. Mobile party experience is an experience like no other. Check out my-mpx.com or call 563-514-1470 and book your mobile party experience today. All right, welcome back to Off There with Matt Randazzo. A smooth Friday here on the show, of course. The weekend is upon us, August 1st. August is here. Football season is officially here as well. It's been a fun show here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. We've had Pat Anger on, talking Iowa football and everything else with that knucklehead. We've also chatted with the new Geneseo basketball coach, TJ Lacey. That was a ton of fun as well. Doug Bland with the Quad City Steamwheelers was on just a short time ago. Get down to Vibrant Arena and enjoy a great Saturday afternoon of football as they host Jacksonville coming up in the playoffs. And then now, without further ado, the person that everybody's been waiting to see, Greg Armstrong, joins us now and Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Greg, that's on me. So people don't need to know this, but I'm going to say, like, my system that I use right now has a block against the iPhone, and it's driving me crazy. So we're working on that, but you made the quick switch to a computer at work. Are you back working finally? You can't hear me, can you? Can you hear me now? Oh, I can. Yeah, you can't. Oh, can you hear me now? We can hear you. Oh, bless us here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. I'm going to take Greg off the screen so he can figure that out. And then we'll come back to Greg if he gives me a thumbs up. Maybe he can eventually hear me as he works. Oh, I got a thumbs up. Live TV at its finest. Greg, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Oh, man. This takes us back to our WQ880 days when bad things would happen when it comes to technology. I can hear you. You look good. You sound good. Are you working?
I'm back on campus today, so...
Okay, I didn't ask where you're at, Greg. I said, are you working? There's a huge difference.
I'm preparing for, the upcoming semester.
I love it. Are you wearing a White Sox shirt too?
I am. I want to talk White Sox today.
Why?
Because that's a fair question.
Yeah, it is.
Because when we met on opening day, and you asked me what my goals were, and I said I just want to see some improvement, right? Just something that I can want to watch. And we talked about if I said if we could avoid 100 losses, that's good. And right now, last year they only had 41 wins. They already have 40 right now as we speak.
So they win
there's improvement.
They win 3 more games and they won't lose 100 games. No,
No, you
they
got to
win like
towards 60.
23 more.
Yeah.
My bad. I did my math wrong. Don't make me do math. No, that
But
is an improvement.
They can do that. I think they can do that.
Yeah, that's setting a really low bar. But no, you're right. Exactly. And you know what? Have you been to a White Sox game this year?
No, and you've been to one. I know. So
I have.
Better than me.
And they lost. They got shut out.
Yeah.
But no.
We were scheduled to go a couple days ago. They played on a Wednesday afternoon, but then the forecast looked bad, and the game ended up being supposed to be a 1:10 start. They didn't start till like 4 or 5 o'clock, so it was probably better we didn't go. But that we were planning it, it didn't happen. Anyway, but they made a couple deals. They made a couple trades at the deadline for guys that they had just picked up for cheap, who performed, and they were able to ship them off for prospects. Like, I don't know what those prospects will do, but it's at least a win in that aspect. And you've been winning some baseball games. Took 2 out of 3 from the Phillies. They've been, I don't know what they are after the All-Star break, but they're playing well. So that's it. That's all we need to talk about.
Greg, we're losing viewers left and right. I'm watching the numbers just decline steadily because we're talking White Sox. High school football season is 4 weeks from today. That's right, correct?
Yeah. We are now in the month of August. August 28th. Is that Friday kickoff?
Yes, 27th. Nope, 29th. No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. No, it's 29th. 29th.
The 29th is a Friday. There you go. All right. There you go.
29th. So exactly.
It's here.
So I know View from the West. We're really excited. I want to start with the party, and it's not just a show.
Yeah.
It's not just a show, Greg. It's a party, and so it's. We mentioned it before we finally got you on, but it's August 17th, a Sunday evening. 5 o'clock, the other bar in Moline will have a cast of characters. We'll do the show live from there. You can check it out on YouTube as well, on X, all those fun things. But come down, get some drinks. Local coaches are going to be there. We'll talk with them, kind of get people ready for the season. Greg, it's an exciting idea that wasn't an idea. And now that it's actually like you put that graphic out on social media and I looked at it, I'm like, this is a thing. This was something we kind of like talked about. I'm super excited about what's going to happen on the 17th.
I think it's just a great way to literally kick off the high school football season. It's a fun way to not just, get on a podcast and talk about what we're excited about, or even to that aspect, interview coaches about what they're excited about. I think it's a great way for all the coaches to kind of be in the same room and, obviously, there'll be some jokes and some good times, but it'll be good information to get out there, and it'll be good to sit with the coaches, talk to them about what they've seen in the summer, in this early fall workouts, and what they're excited for the season. I think it's just a great way to start the football season, just to get the conversation rolling and to, all be in the same place and not just, on a recorded podcast. So, yeah.
Yeah, and, we had Mike Morrissey on the show yesterday. The handsome Mike Morrissey. I think you have to put that in front of his name every time you say it. And he talked about
because it's been reported that way, so I think it's official.
If you're on a major TV station being called the best looking coach in the Quad Cities, I think it's a thing that actually happened too. Wow. Anyways,
that really did happen.
Now you lost my train of thought. No, and he talked about like his coaches are excited to go, like to get out, to go down, and chat about the season and all those kind of things as well. You're rocking and rolling. You're putting out content. I love the new look of the View from the West and the new format and all that kind of stuff. What's it been like for you getting rocking and rolling and just gaining information? I know right now about what these teams are going to look like this upcoming season.
Yeah, it's been exciting so far. So we've put out the Northwest Upstate Illini an 8-man preview. So the smaller schools up near, past Sterling, Rock Falls area, up by Rockford. All those schools we previewed with, of course, Kyle Kampmeyer, who will be there on the 17th. He's really excited to be in town and to come talk some football. So we previewed that conference. Obviously, that conference has a long history of a lot of state championships. Most recently, it's been Lena Winslow. Plenty of teams that are going to put up a good fight. That conference is a battle week in and week out to see who ends up on top. We also just got done, posted the Lincoln Land Conference. So we go through some of the smaller schools near the Peoria area, and then obviously down towards Macomb and that part of the state. So it's going to be a different look. I think there's a lot of teams that lost some familiar faces, some big names that we've talked about over the years, but that creates opportunity. So I think that conference has, on the big side and the small side, some opportunities for some teams to kind of climb up. One of the teams we talked a lot about that I know you've talked about over the years, Anawan Wethersfield from the Lincoln Land Conference. They should be good again. They battled through injuries a year ago. Maybe that's a blessing in disguise that a lot of kids got a lot of experience and a lot of them are coming back. So that's a team we're excited about. Stark County will have some new names, some new faces. I think they'll be battling in there. And then, several other schools. So yeah, we're excited.
Do you have, this is impossible to answer, but I'm going to make it the question because that's what I do.
All right.
Do you have one or two storylines that you're more intrigued with or that pop into your head early on? And it's hard for you because you have different conferences. So you can say this storyline in this conference, that. Is there anything over like an umbrellaing high school football, if that makes a sense? I don't think umbrellaing is a word, but I think I just made it up.
No, you'll have to ask Pat Anger. He always corrects your English. So.
Yeah, right. Is there a storyline or two when it comes to high school football on a bigger scale that you're interested in this year?
I'll give you two stories that I'm really looking at. I think the big story from our big schools that we cover in the Western Big Six is who, if anyone, can knock off Quincy. We've talked the last 2 years about Quincy should run the table. They should win every game in the Western Big Six, and they did that. They were always the one being chased. I think they're still being chased, but I think somebody can get them this year. I think it's more possible than it was these last couple years. Who's going to be the team to do it? I think that's a storyline to follow. I think the other storyline to follow in the kind of metro Quad Cities area is you look at the Mississippi side of the Three Rivers Conference. So when you're talking the Rock Ridge, Newman, Erie Provincetown, Riverdale, Mercer County, and Orion, when you start looking through that list, it's really hard to pick out who's a favorite, who's going to be a runner-up, and where do they all fit. I think it's a conference that's going to have, what would you call it, a high ceiling to where, I don't think there's going to be bad teams in that division. Does that make sense?
Yeah, almost.
Somebody's going to have to lose some games.
I think almost a low floor where there's going to be a team there's going to be a really good fourth place team. If that makes any sense?
Yes.
Like a really good
That's what I mean.
fourth place
I
team.
think that there's not going to be a bad football team in that conference. Records may not indicate that at the end of the year. Because like I said, somebody's got to lose these games. But I think you're going to see a lot of back and forth. You're going to see so-and-so beat so-and-so, but then the next week they turn around and they lose to somebody else. And they're all going to be just in the mix. I think that's really exciting. That conference, that division of that conference is really intriguing to me.
Tell us before we let you go, and I want to talk to you about our friend Chris Stewart before we let you go too, because I mentioned him off the top of the show as well. But what's coming up next for View from the West when it comes to the planning of when podcasts are dropping and when your conference is going to be up? If you're listening to this from the LLC or the Western Big Six and all that kind of stuff, I'm stretching for you so you can get your list up. Are you good?
You're putting me on the spot so I can find the dates. I got it.
Just
Here we
what's
go.
next, for Christ's sake? Go ahead.
So this weekend, we are recording the Three Rivers Athletic Conference, of course, with our conference insider, Ty Taylor from WRMJ. Really excited to get him back on board. He put out his previews on their website. Go check that out. He's got a wealth of great information he's going to bring to the podcast. Actually, Mitch and I joked that we're just going to start the show and hit mute and then just let Ty take it away. So
he's the best Taylor.
That will come out.
Always
I
has
didn't
been.
say that. You said that.
No, I stand by it.
So the Three Rivers Athletic Conference preview comes out August 5th. August 12th will be the big Northern Conference preview. So we're expanding our listening area a little bit, our coverage area. That'll be the big Northern preview. I'm excited to get into teams like Byron, Stillman Valley, names that we've heard over the years that we've never covered very closely in the Quad Cities. But there's going to be some tie-in over the next couple years with teams from our area going to their conference. I'm really excited to get that one. So that's August 12th. August 17th, like we talked about, the kickoff party. August 19th will be our Western Big Six preview with former Geneseo head coach Denny Derricks. Really excited to pick his brain. Yeah, so he was Dan Pearson, of course, put us in contact. He's a big fan of the show, and Coach Derrick's wanted to come on. He does broadcasting for the Geneseo football games now, and so he's been studying these teams, and he wanted to get on and talk about it. We invited him on to talk. I think he's going to have great insights. So very excited for that. And then August 26th, we'll put out our kind of week one preview and kind of look at the season and the matchups that are coming up in week one. So there you go.
Man, it's coming fast. Super excited about everything. Of course, as the month of August continues to go along, Greg and I will continue to cross-promote as well, and then kind of talk about River Rivals Media, something that'll be launched here in the next couple weeks to a month of where you can go to get all of your local sports needs. And with that being said, I saw something on social media yesterday. I've been texting with him throughout the night. We texted about it as well. Chris Dewar. And when it comes to Quincy and your guys's, I mean, I don't know if there's been a school that maybe listened to View from the West more in the last 2 years than the Quincy area because of what they were doing. Chris Dewar, I mentioned it at the top, 30 years, sports director in the Quincy area down at KHQA. Stepped aside, moved on, I guess you could say, no longer on television, announced this morning he's partnering with and going to work for Muddy River Sports with Matt Shuckman and everything he's done. I think it's so cool, Greg. And I talked a little bit with him, and he's had posts up and everything like that, but non-traditional sports media is where things are going. And I think he's super excited about it. I know that he mentioned on his video that he did this morning, he mentioned me as somebody who's been successful, which is, but that's a stretch. But but yeah, I've always deferred to you when it comes to, like, you're somebody that I watched do what you did and create with View from the West and grow that and move on. Chris. I'm super excited for him. I think he's going to kill it. Your thoughts as he gets ready to do his next venture, and I'm sure he's going to kill it as well.
Yeah, I think it's really exciting. I mean, as you know, like, it's the TV business as a whole is a grind. I think a lot of people see it, and it looks glamorous, and it can be a lot of fun, right? Like, it is a really cool industry to be in, and you get to do a lot of fun, interesting things on the, especially on the sports media side of things. But, it is also hard. It's a lot of hard hours. It's a lot of it's a grind. I don't know how else to describe it. And so I think that for him doing it for 30 years, and doing such a remarkable job, like, I mean, you struggle to find a better person, a better human being, and then a better, sports journalist on top of it. Quincy is so fortunate. And then you pair that with another such a great guy in Matt Shuckman and everybody involved with Muddy River. I think they're lucky to have that down in Quincy. And I think that, us, like River Rivals Media, inspire to be kind of what they've done and what they've started. So I think it's fun to know that the inspiration kind of works both ways. I think, in my opinion, that I see what they're doing and they see what, you've done and what we're doing here. So I think it's cool. And you're right. I think that the non-traditional is going to become more commonplace because it is easier to set up and to connect with, with the masses. It's easier to do these days, and that's great.
Technology has helped with that a ton. I'll say one other thing too. You mentioned, the grind of it and the long hours, and it's not because the long hours still exist. And everybody, I love it. People think like, oh, you do a show in your loft, like, really. I mean, it takes a little bit to put together and everything like that. The long hours still exist. With that being said, it's not being told no. Like, that's the thing that I don't think people realize. And I'm not bashing any boss I ever had, but like when it comes to bigger corporations or the big bosses that tell you, no, you can't do these kind of things. So I think that's what people don't realize. They're like, man, you guys did all these things, and they don't realize the hoops that you have to jump through sometimes to get to do the things you want to do. You don't have to do that in this. You don't have any. My wife tells me no a lot, but like, that's the only person I got to talk to and answer to right now. So I think it's really cool. And Nick, you mentioned Matt Shuckman has been amazing in what he's done, and Chris Stewart is doing that as well. So I think it's going to be a really cool era to watch other people do these kind of things as well.
Yep. Well, you said that your wife tells you no, but you've also sent me some texts like, hey, should I send this out on social media? And I will say no. So I also have told you no.
That's true. That's very, and man, you're right. There's been times I've called Greg and been like, whew, I'm glad I texted you that and didn't put that on social media. You're like my filter. God
exactly.
knows I need a filter sometimes. So, all right. So if anybody's, again, we're going to keep beating this to death. In fact, I'm going to have Greg send me his fancy little graphic that he made so I can put it up on the show too. But August 17th, the other bar, we're really excited about it. Great sponsors with it as well. Breedloves. I met with Cal Breedlove with you for the first time a couple weeks ago. What a great dude. What just an awesome person.
Yeah.
So we have all that going on and much more going. The month of August is super excited. We got a lot of work to get to, but it means exciting things for you guys that listen to my product and watch my product and listen to and watch what Greg and I guess what Mitch does.
Mitch is killing it, man. He's putting together all the previews. So
is he going to come back on August 17th? Is he going to get the plane and drive in or fly in?
I don't. His private jet. I don't know if the View from the West private jet that we funded. We're getting bigger, so it's time to expand.
Right.
I don't know if he'll be back for August 17th, but he will be back in the middle of the season. I don't know the date for sure, but he'll be back one weekend. Yeah, for a wedding. And so I think there's he wants to be on the shows. He's already talked about maybe stopping by WRMJ. He could stop by the Loft. I think there's exactly. That's what I mean.
I'd show the 2-shot right now, but I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt, so and not any shoes, but yeah, this beautiful loft right here. Look at this. I look like an idiot, Greg. I look like an absolute idiot. That's what I do for a living. Is I go upstairs in bare feet and talk on this dang thing, and people listen for some reason. So, well, that's exciting. I'm excited to get Mitch in town. That'll be awesome. So, anyways, guys, go do that. Follow View from the West on YouTube. Like it on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Do it as well on social media. High school football. It's August, Greg. This month there'll be a high school football game, which is cool to talk about. So, all right, my friend. Well, you and I have a lot of work to do behind the scenes. So I'll talk to you early next week, and we'll actually get some work done as well. I appreciate you.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Greg Armstrong talking White Sox. What in the world was that? We lead with White Sox. I don't even understand what happened, but a lot of high school football coming up later this month as well. Well, this was a busy, fun, long show for a Friday as well. So couple things. We talked about that show coming up on the 17th. That's a Sunday, August 17th. Don't forget, next Friday, the show goes on the road. We'll be live. OTA from Iowa Football Media Day, the practice field there. Different showtime next Friday. It won't be 10 till noon. It'll most likely be 2 to 4 is what I'm guessing right now. We'll kind of fine tune that a little bit as well. Pat Anger, hopefully Gary Dolphin, some players, some coaches, all that kind of stuff. It should be a ton of fun. So a lot to get to when it comes to the upcoming weeks. And then starting on Monday, we're going to start our OTA high school football previews with a different coach from Iowa and Illinois coming on each day to chat with us about the high school football season as well. So a ton to get to. Enjoy the weekend. Get out to the Steamwheelers game. 305, vibrant arena. Watch them beat Jacksonville and move on in the playoffs. And we will be back here on Monday with another edition of Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Thank you guys so much for watching. And of course, before we leave, we want to thank these amazing sponsors for allowing us to do what we get to do each and every day right here in the Quad Cities.
Gave up a TV job.
That was not it. Anyways, we thank our sponsors. We'll see you guys next week.